Good morning, everyone. I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal, here again with Josh Bootsma, our managing editor.
Good morning, everyone.
And today, Landon Ford, our intern, is behind the camera. He's manning the camera, and Josh tells me Landon is going to do the editing this week.
That's right. Landon's doing the editing this week, so we're happy to get him involved in this, a regular part of what's become a regular part of the Lansing Journal is this video.
Right. That will be a big help to us, so we are glad to have Landon Ford on board.
Yep. So we're doing a news roundup this week, talking about things going on in town and things that will be going on in town. The first item on our list is an announcement for something to come that is both good news and bad news. The good news is the railroad crossing at Burnham Avenue, right there by Erfurt Park, is going to be replaced. It is going to be new.
Finally.
It has been a long time in coming.
Yes,
The
that's
village,
a bad one.
Yes, that is a bad one. You and I live near that area, and we know that that's a bad crossing, and we've heard from people who have affirmed that that's a bad crossing. So the good news is that's happening. The village has been working on getting that done for over 3 years with the train company. It has not been on the village to get that done. That's
Right.
something they have to work with CSX, the train company, for. And so they have been actively trying to do that, and finally it looks like it's going to happen. So that leads us to the not so great news, which is that Burnham Avenue is going to be closed from 186 south to Glenwood Lansing Road.
That's a big stretch of road.
That's a big stretch with houses, with schools, with businesses. So the road will be open to people going to those schools and businesses for local traffic, but closed to through traffic for that area. So that's from November 8 to November 24. So you can start planning accordingly, ready for that. But overall, really good news for people who live in that area and use that to get to work every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were angry at the village for not fixing that and not realizing that the village doesn't have any control
Right.
over the railroad tracks.
Right.
And CSX is sort of its own kingdom,
Right.
its own power and authority. And so getting that done, getting that collaboration between the village and CSX took a long time. Josh, this week we get to talk about chickens in Lansing.
That's fun. That's not something we talk about every week, Melanie.
On Wednesday, a Local Voices piece published, and so it appeared in Thursday morning's email. The title of that piece is Chickens in Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Adam Barker's desire for Lansing to allow people to keep chickens. Not as pets, but as providers of eggs.
Yeah, right?
So he went through some misconceptions that
Right.
people have about chickens, and he addressed those. And he's starting the process of, he hopes, getting Lansing's ordinances changed so that people can keep chickens in Lansing. Josh, would you like to live next to a house that has chickens?
I've been thinking about that since reading his piece, and I think that someone who took care of chickens the way Adam says he's taking care of his chickens and will take care of his chickens, I think that would be great.
You wouldn't mind?
I don't think so. I mean, he talked about why the smell wouldn't be an issue if they're properly maintained, why the noise isn't an issue when you have primarily hens. Maybe you could get some free eggs out of the deal. And so, yeah, I think I'd be fine with that as a neighbor, yeah.
Do you think you would ever keep chickens yourself? You have a nice backyard.
I have a nice yard. I think that I probably wouldn't trust myself to take care of chickens the way that Adam prescribed in his Local Voices piece.
So you recognize that this is a responsibility.
Absolutely.
Not just anyone can keep chickens.
And I think that's part of what Adam is trying to say, is that when properly taken care of, when someone is willing to put in the work, it can be a really good thing and not invasive, not intrusive. So I think that's probably the misconception that he's trying to combat a little bit. And this reminds me, Melanie, of the beekeeping kind of thing that you covered some years ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's similar. A couple of years ago, Diane Lund noticed in our ordinances that bees were designated as a wild animal, and therefore people were not allowed to keep bees. And she wanted to be a beekeeper. And so she went through the process of changing Lansing ordinances to make beekeeping legal in Lansing. And it took a year or two. It was quite a process. So I believe she is sort of consulting for Adam and walking him through the steps. And I think it's great that Adam reached out to us to start with this Local Voices piece. That was a good sort of launch point. And we will be covering the story as it unfolds.
Right.
And who knows, maybe in a year or two, people will be keeping chickens in Lansing.
Absolutely. It's a cool little case study of civic engagement here in Lansing. And Adam has a Facebook page as well, linked in our Local Voices story. So you can check out more of what that's all about on the Facebook page. And I'm sure he'll be providing updates, as we will. Something else, Melanie, that happened this week is some work that you were able to put in on a photo book of a lot of the photos that the Lansing Journal has taken, different journalists for different stories, a good variety of different photos. Tell us about that and who's going to be using that book.
Well, Josh, we're always hoping to get more subscribers.
Right.
And so this is a new thing that we're trying.
Yeah.
It's and a lot of the work that went into this had to do with the technological logistics behind the process.
Sure.
Just setting up a landing page for this thing and making it work so that when people subscribe to the Lansing Journal, they will automatically be directed to a page where they can download this photo book.
Gotcha.
So I learned a lot in the past week about all the software and setting that up.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
Yeah, sure.
And we hope it works. It's really a nice book. There are 21 pages, and they are all full-size photos. Some of them have appeared in stories before, some of them have not. Each one has a little caption. They're all from Lansing. Right. It's a digital download. You can download the PDF, and it's free.
Yeah.
So when you subscribe, you get a link to, or you automatically get redirected to the page where you can download it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And posting that link on Facebook, and one of the reasons that's important is because I think a lot of our Facebook friends believe they are subscribed, but they're not actually. Right. Right. Subscribers get that email every morning, and that has all of the headlines in it, all of the headlines that posted the previous day. And so they can choose which ones they want to read. They click on the link and it takes them right to our site. So really, it's better to be an email subscriber, and we want more of our Facebook friends to become subscribers. Josh, guess what?
What?
This weekend is Halloween.
It's Halloween this weekend. There's lots going on.
There is. But for me, the most exciting thing happening this weekend is that Josh and I will be at Fox Point handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. That is on Sunday from 2 to 4. The Lansing Journal will have a table, and Landon is going to be there too, and so is Jennifer. And we bought plenty of candy this year.
We did. I've seen it this morning. Plenty of candy. She's not lying.
Could you remember what happened last year?
Yes, last year there were so many kids. There was close to 1,000 kids, we heard, and we kind of ran out. We were scrambling, but we have enough this year. So please come out and see us. We have enough candy for you. Come out. And it's not just us there, we should say. There's lots of other businesses and organizations that will be at Fox Point from 2 to 4. And that's just the precursor to the village-wide trick-or-treating, which is from 4 to 7 on Sunday. So bring the big bag, kids, because there's lots of candy available for you, I'm sure.
You could be trick-or-treating for 5 hours on Sunday. Where else but in Lansing?
Right. That'll be fun. And there's lots of other events going on too. We'll link below to our updated Halloween kind of event roundup, I guess you'd call it. Businesses and organizations around town are doing trunk or treats or special events or offering special discounts. So the ones that we know of are in that story below. If you have one happening, you can send it to us as well. But yeah, lots of good stuff going on in town.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to being out in the public, meeting the kids, meeting the families. And so please come to Fox Point on Halloween Sunday from 2 to 4 to see Josh and Melanie and Landon and Jennifer at our trick-or-treat table.
Yeah. And have a good Halloween weekend, and we will see you next week.